Greetings, YouTube. Happy Friday, and welcome to one of the most surprisingly requested videos I've ever made on my channel. You see, in the past week, I graded every single 5-star Dungeon Crystal, and I said I may do the 4-star ones as well, depending on if people are still buying the 4-star Dungeon Crystals. Well, of course, the elites out there commented, "Prof, 4 stars are a joke. You'd be wasting everybody's time talking about 4 stars. No one uses 4 stars anymore." And, quite a few people can like those comments because it's elite. It's the elite of the elite. But so many people are underestimating, and maybe including myself after this week, how many people buy 4-star Dungeon Crystals and how many people still are trying to rank up maybe even their first or second, surely one of their first 5, rank 5, 4 stars. And even after you get 5 and 6 stars, 4 stars are still extremely valuable. So many people who have 5 stars don't have the best 5 stars. And even if you have a 5-star Void or a 5-star Dr. Voodoo, if you don't have your 5-star Star-Lord Awakened, you're telling me you would take a 5-star rank 3 unawakened Star-Lord over a rank 5 4-star awakened max sig Star-Lord? No, you'd be stupid to do that. So we really still need to have a positive, healthy conversation about 4 stars on YouTube and in the contest because they're still here to stay. And for so many summoners, they are still game-changing potential champions. So I'm going to do the same thing for this 4-star Dungeon Crystal review that I did for the 5-star one when I graded them with 4 different categories. Is this a champion that is going to be a roster-changing champion? I'll have to talk about whether or not they need to be awakened as well because that's a big difference. Or is it going to be somebody that's really, really nice to have? A champion that maybe isn't going to break the game when you get them, but they're still going to do a lot of damage and have quite a bit of utility. Or are they nice to have in the arena? You know, are they fun to fight with, but basically they're going to stay on your bench, so they're just going to be used for the arena? Or are they trash? Are they somebody that makes you really, really wish you could have a mulligan do-over on that crystal because it just ruined your day? So we have quite a few crystals, as always, to talk about. And let's start with some chaos, because the 4-star chaos crystal features a straight game-changing, account-changing banger Hyperion right off the top. And I have to say, even though I have a rank 2 6-star Domino, even though I have 565 Blade, 565 Stark Spidey, Void, I think Hyperion's still my favorite champion to play with in the game because he's a perfect champion. Amazing Special 1, Amazing Special 2, and Amazing Special 3. Poison immunity. You've got insane power gain, insane incinerate, and stacks Furies with one of, if not the best, heavy attack in the game. There's no weakness to this champion. Oh yeah, plus, even though it's not amazing, he does have some regeneration capabilities. That is a perfect champion. I always get excited to use my Hyperion in so many different aspects of the game. And so Hyperion doesn't also need to be awakened to be amazing, which is a huge difference. So Hyperion, a truly account-changing champion. Now, Satan herself, Kamala Khan, I've seen the 565 videos. I've seen how she can be useful. But if you land on Satan herself, you're going to have a bad day. It's going to be a bad day. She's trash overall, as is Iron Patriot, a champion that desperately needs to be buffed. Now, Vision Age of Ultron Awakened can be, in certain scenarios, a roster-changing champion, but not compared to Hyperion, so I'm just going to say he's really, really nice to have. Daredevil Classic Awakened High Sig is also a really, really nice champion to have, especially against someone like the Collector. Taskmaster, nice for the arena. I know some people love Taskmaster, but overall I think the majority of the community doesn't play him. Ant-Man, even though better with synergies, such as Wasp next to Ant-Man, just a trash champion overall. You're not going to be excited at all. You're going to have a bad day if you land on an Ant-Man. Wasp is a nice champion to have, especially on defense. The Hood is as well. And Storm is great awakened, but even awakened isn't anywhere close to the top of the mutant food chain. So I'm going to say Storm is just nice for the arena. So this crystal really has only one game-changing roster champion in Hyperion, and then quite a few nice champions to have, and even some underrated champions like the Hood or Daredevil Classic Awakened. But, it's only got one top champion, so I can't give this more than a B grade because normally an A grade would have to have a guarantee of 20% of the champions or 2 out of 10, as roster-changing champions, and this one only has one. So we're going to jump from Chaos to a total Nightmare Crystal, where we're going to start off with a game-changing champion in Iceman. Now, I've got a lot of pushback because quite a few people think Iceman is overrated. They say he hits like a wet noodle, quote-unquote. I argue that if your Iceman isn't hitting hard, you probably don't know how to use him effectively, especially if you stack those cold snaps and then release a heavy attack. I love my rank 4 5-star Iceman, and even though as I shift to upgrading 6 stars, I'm probably never going to take him to rank 5 unless I get some kind of gem. I still love the triple immunities and, of course, the counters to evade and such, so including Mordo's Astro Evade. So I think Iceman deserves to say a account-changing champion, especially on so many BS paths with certain terrible nodes to worry about. Okay, Cyclops, total trash, ruined your day. Venompool is somewhere between trash and a nice champion for the arena. I do think he's a bit underappreciated, especially with his special one, but most people I've seen when they land on Venompool don't get excited. Superior Iron Man is useful awakened, but they also don't get excited at all to land on him. War Machine, actually really good on certain unblockable special 1 nodes for Alliance War defense, but besides that, really doesn't hit hard at all. I hate fighting with a War Machine, so I'm going to say he's more trash than anything else. Hulkbuster trash, Falcon trash, Karnak trash, Guillotine nice to have, especially this month in the main quest. And then Hulk Ragnarok, whew. This is a champion that I feel like everybody wanted to be top tier, but still falls under really nice to have. Certainly not a game changer like Void of the Science class. Overall, there's so much trash in this crystal. There's so much trash. There's over a 50% chance to have your day ruined if you get a Nightmare Crystal, which I guess means it's named correctly, because this thing can be a total nightmare if you don't land on the right champion. So I can't say that this is higher than a C. In fact, taking Iceman out of it, I'd give this thing almost a straight F, which is hard to do on this. And people are going to say, but Hulk Ragnarok is so good, and Guillotine's really nice to reverse that regen into degen like against Deadpool this month. That's true, but Karnak, Falcon, Hulkbuster, War Machine, Superior Iron Man, Venompool, and Cyclops all back to back to back. Are you kidding me? Don't go for this. If you need an Iceman, just try your luck in the 4-star crystal. You'll have much better misses if you don't pull him. All right, we are going to jump from a nightmare, which really was a total nightmare, to Genesis. Because the first shall be last and last shall be first. Ghost Rider, I love. Still don't have my 5-star Awaken because that'll never happen in my life, apparently, and I certainly won't get a Mystic Awakening gem for him. But Ghost Rider is fantastic. Yes, he's not as game-changing as some other Mystic champs and certainly other champions in general, but he is near the very top, and when you combine his synergies with the other members of the Holy Trinity, he is like the Chris Bosh of the Trinity. Still a all-star, but overshadowed by Hall of Famers. So I think Ghost Rider is an account-changing champion. I am going to stick with that, even though some people will probably say I'm being too generous. Juggernaut, even though he was my main counter for so many fights of the Collector because I got guaranteed damage at the start, most people say he's trash, and I have to side with the community because this is who I serve. So Juggernaut, bad day if you land on a Juggernaut. Magneto, same thing. Desperately needs a buff. Can't believe he got kind of a weird random nerf in patch 12.0. A lot of people forget about that. Colossus, you want to talk about needing a buff. Total trash. Spider-Man Symbiote, fun for the arena. King Groot, I'm going to actually side with trash, even though he's a good Alliance War defender that I hate. I still hate fighting with King Groot. He's not fun in the arena. Green Goblin is a nice arena champion. I think that's about where he settles now. Iron Man Infinity War, really nice champion to have. Certainly not on the offensive tier of, say, Stark Spidey or a Ghost, but really nice champion to have. Massacre, really nice champion to have, and a bit underappreciated. I think in the past year, since there have been some really, really great champions, Massacre has kind of fallen into the tier right below, and so people forget how much damage a Massacre can do. I still wish I had a 4-star Massacre. I only have a 3-star for my rank 2 Domino Synergy. And then Captain America, I'm going to say he's a fun arena champion, especially Awakened. I'm not going to say he's trash because I think that's disrespecting the Cap, but he should be way better. It's Captain America, one of the best champs in the Marvel Universe. So you're looking at this, and what sucks about this crystal, there's no top-tier champion in it. Some people might argue that Iron Man Infinity War is close or Ghost Rider is close, but not to the same scale that, say, like what would happen if a Void and a Medusa were in this, for example. You would look at this a lot different. So I'm going to look at this as a C+. The Genesis is just average. Maybe slightly above average given some of the trash we saw in the Nightmare Crystal, but that's about it. Now let's evolve to the Evolution Crystal, and we start out with a Luke Cage, who's a really nice champion to have. I have a 6-star Unawakened Luke Cage, and even at rank 1 does a significant amount of damage and is really fun to play with. Luke Cage got a huge buff from Kabam in a beta test somewhat recently, and, you know, he's fun to play with. Not top tier, but still really nice to have. Captain America World War II used to be top tier, believe it or not. Now I would say he's somewhere between really nice to have and a fun arena champion. Scarlet Witch is a game changer, especially for those of you who have been waiting a long time to awaken your Scarlet Witch naturally. Scarlet Witch is the best champion in this crystal so far. She is an account-changing champion, awakened at a high sig. Now, Iron Fist gets disrespected more, and I don't know why, because when you stack the armor breaks, he's really fun to play and can do a amazing amount of damage, but I think for most people, he's just kind of fun to use in the arena. Psylocke, I think, is more of an arena champion than somebody that you bring into questing. Now, Rogue is better than Psylocke, and I think Rogue is a really nice champion to have. Hela, probably more for the arena, but can do some great damage. Phoenix, I think Phoenix is probably more of an arena champion than anything else, but that's basically because she gets you a lot of points, not because she hits hard. Punisher 2099, best arena champion, or arena champion at best, excuse me, but could be considered trash. And then Kingpin, somewhere between arena and trash as well. There is no bad champion in this crystal. This is an overall very well-rounded crystal by Kabam. Kudos to them for making this. And you have a chance to get a Scarlet Witch, which is going to be a very hard champion to pull out of the 4-star crystal now because there's so many champions. I'm going to give this somewhere between a B+ and an A-. Let's just give it a 90. You know, there isn't a bad champion. I think if you landed a Kingpin or Punisher 2099 or a Hela, you know, even an Iron Fist, I don't think your day is going to be nearly as bad as if you land on a Colossus or a Falcon or even an Ant-Man. So, yeah, Evolution Crystal. I'm a fan. All right, let's go to the War Crystal and talk about Blade and Korg to start off. Yes, this is what we like to see. A 4-star Blade will be an account-changing champion. There's a lot of disrespect going on for Blade in the community right now. I don't know why. Maybe some people think like his time has passed, but when you have your Blade awakened at high sig, the regen is insane. I have saved so many units and revives and potions because of my Blade's awakened ability, and of course, you still do a ton of bleed damage with an amazing underrated Special 1, not just a Special 2. Special 3 does suck for Blade. I don't understand why that's the case, but yeah, just use Special 1, Special 2. Korg needs to be awakened, but is still a top-tier defender, and really a really nice champion to have. Sentry, mostly the arena, even though it's somewhere between arena and trash, should be like Hyperion. I'm still so disappointed by Sentry. Probably the most disappointing champion I've ever seen in this game, and that's saying something. Spider-Man Miles Morales, fine for the arena. That's about it. Loki, I'm going to put somewhere between the arena and nice champion to have, even though the president of my channel, Mr. Don't Trust Anybody, would rather have a 6-star Loki than 6-star Domino because he just loves Loki so much. And certainly there are fights like the Act 5 final Ultron boss where Loki just destroys. But yeah, I'm just going to put him there. Mordo, I don't even know what to say about this guy. I'm just going to say Mordo's trash. I hate Mordo. I do. I'm sure a lot of people put him in the arena. I hate Mordo. I hate fighting him in the arena, so I can't say he's in the arena. He's good for points, and that's about it. X-23, really nice champion to have. Underrated, actually, now, I think, in the game. Cable, arena champ. Civil Warrior, maybe arena champ. Underrated Special 2, so I'll keep him in the arena. And then OG Thor, also a champion that used to break the game. Now he's just somewhere between arena and nice champion to have. There are better armor break champions. I mean, compare OG Thor now to Corvus Glaive. It's not even close. I'll say arena. He's fallen that much. But, you know, this is another crystal that there aren't too many champs that I would be mad at. Sentry and Mordo would probably be the bottom two for me on this, and then Miles Morales to close third, and then Civil Warrior. So I'm going to put this at a B+. I think the War Crystal is also a very solid crystal for those of you looking to get 4-star dungeon crystals. And let's see, yeah, we only have one more, and that is the Death Crystal to talk about. We start off with the 4-star Star-Lord, a champion that, as I've said before in this video, needs to be awakened, and at high sig, ideally, to be as effective as possible. But even at a low sig, a awakened Star-Lord still has a huge difference between a non-awakened Star-Lord. Even though Star-Lord is kind of being ignored in the tech class as one of the top champs by quite a few people, I'm going to put him at the top. I still think Star-Lord is a game-changing champion. Really, really, really good. And a great start. Red Skull, I used to think he was total trash. Now I think he's fun to play with in the arena. I've enjoyed playing with him in the arena between the power drain of the blocking and also a pretty nice Special 2 shock damage. So I'm going to put him at the arena. Daredevil, I'm guessing this is Netflix Daredevil, is total trash, needs a buff. Hate that champion. Black Panther Civil War may be nice to have in the arena. That's about it. She-Hulk used to be, at best, an arena champion, but most likely trash. Now she could be at least a really, really nice champion to have. Quake, I'm putting as a game-changing champion if you know how to use her. Doctor Strange used to be a champion that almost broke the game. Now he is limp. I'm going to put him as an arena champion. Thor Jane Foster, I think when you know how to use her right, spam that special one, get the stun. Nice champ to have in the arena. Miss Marvel is an underappreciated champion that's really nice to have, even though I think she's now the poor version of Angela. And Sabretooth, very nice champion to have. This is another crystal that I really like. I was hoping that first when I looked at this that the Doctor Strange was actually Dr. Voodoo, because if that was the case and you had Dr. Voodoo, Quake, She-Hulk, and Star-Lord in this, it would be amazing. But because you don't, I think this is another B+, a very, very solid crystal. You really don't have anyone that you're going to be super mad to get except for Daredevil Netflix or Netflix Daredevil. And I don't think Black Panther Civil War will be a win for you either. But other than that, you know, Doctor Strange is fine. Thor Jane Foster is actually fine. Miss Marvel, good champion. Sabretooth, great champion. And then, you know, my love of Quake and Star-Lord. So, yeah, B+ to even a 90. This is one of the top 3 best 4-star crystals. Now, of course, I had to assume in the reviewing of these crystals that you didn't have any of the champions in these crystals because, of course, if you have the top champions, that significantly changes which ones you want to go for. I also just want to say, if you can hold out, and if you continue to save dungeon artifacts, and I know quite a few of you have contacted me that don't have 15 5-stars, maybe you only have 8 or 9, but you can hoard up to what, like 50-something thousand, even 50,000 dungeon artifacts, enough for almost 2 guaranteed 5-stars straight away once you get those dungeon artifacts. So if you can control yourself, I would still recommend that you just hoard those artifacts. You don't spend the 4-star crystal because you're going to get plenty of opportunities for free to get plenty of 4-stars over the course of the next several months. And you're just patient. Patience is the key to success in this game. I hope these grades have helped you decide which 4-stars to get. YouTube, thanks for watching. Have a great day.